giving birth in Canada, especially without support, can be very challenging. So I've highlighted all these steps or these things you're supposed to know that will help you so you don't get overwhelmed with all of these things.
Don't wanna take it slow, just wanna let you know, ready to spend some time.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. If today is your first time here, please don't leave here without subscribing. My name is Molalao and I am a new YouTuber based in Calgary in Canada. I talk about my life in Calgary as a new mom and every other good stuff. So if you're here today and you have not subscribed, go and subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the steps to take or things to do after you've had your baby in Canada. You've had your baby, you're back home from the hospital. There are some things that you're supposed to know. Giving birth in Canada, especially without support, can be very challenging. So I've highlighted all these steps or these things you're supposed to know that will help you so you don't get overwhelmed with all of these things. I wish I knew all of these things before, but from my own experience, I'm able to put down some points for somebody else who will be needing this video and is watching. So let's get right into the video. Number one thing you're supposed to note after you've given birth to your baby and you are back home is to rest. When you get home, either CS or vaginal birth, you need to take rest. You just give birth to a whole human being, so you need to rest. Like, take rest from everything. Get home, sleep and recover. Let your body recover from all of these things. The truth is, it's not an easy journey that you've just gone through, so you need that rest. Sleep. Let any other person that is around take care of the baby. In fact, take care of you. So while you're resting, it includes eating good food. It includes making sure that you've had your bath, you're sleeping, you're well rested. That's like the number one thing. Number two is that you should establish a feeding schedule. So these little humans, they eat like 2 to 3 hours, and if you don't know what to do about it, you can find yourself crying as well as the baby. Because when your baby starts crying, you need to actually feed the baby. So you need to record, like, is the baby going to be eating 3 hours or 2 hours? You need to know that. And also establish your pattern of feeding. What I mean is, if you're doing exclusive breastfeeding, make sure that there is milk in hand to feed your baby with. If you are not yet lactating, there's no issue, there's no stress. Just first take rest. Your body needs to send a message that, oh, I have just had a baby and I need all the milk to produce to feed this baby. If your body is not right with you at that time, there's no need to force it. You can always substitute with formula. I understand that they tell you, oh, exclusive is best for the baby, it helps the baby's body to grow and all of that, but you can't stress yourself when the breast is not coming. So for me, my baby was fed with formula from the hospital because I wasn't lactating yet. So from the hospital, they fed him with formula. What will I do? Am I going to kill myself? So you can't kill yourself. Don't put yourself under undue pressure that, oh, I must feed my baby exclusively. Yes, you will do that. But at the first week or first few weeks, if you're not yet lactating, you can feed your baby with formula. And then when the breast milk comes in excess, you will feed your baby with the breast milk. So establish that pattern of feeding. Am I going to be feeding my baby every 3 hours? Okay, if it's every 3 hours, is the breast milk available in the fridge? Yes. If it's not available, do I need to pump? Do I need to put my baby to breast? And all of that. And if you establish that, it will give you peace of mind. You won't be overly stressed on top of feeding your baby. I have to stress that because a lot of people will say, oh, breastfed babies are the ones with the huge brain and all. I get it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feed your baby with breast milk, but I'm saying that if you're not producing milk at the first week, second week, calm down. The milk production will still be a mass. So just feed your baby with what you have for now, and then when that comes, you can feed your baby with your breast milk. That's number two. Number three you need to know is that you need to schedule your postpartum checkup. So in Canada, after you're done in the hospital, I mean with labor, they give you this envelope. In fact, they explain to you in the hospital that you take this envelope to your family doctor. It contains everything about your baby's birth and yourself. So this envelope, you need to schedule a 1-week postpartum checkup with your doctor. So you have to go to your family doctor for them to check your baby. So after 1 week, your baby will be checked. You go to the hospital, they check your baby from head to toe. They do that checkup to be sure that everything is fine. So when you get home, call the hospital to say, oh, I just had a baby and I would like to schedule an appointment. So you do that. Make sure that after that first week checkup, you're also scheduling an appointment for your 6 weeks checkup. So they check you and they check the baby. You can also call your gynecologist to also schedule an appointment so that they check also the mom. You also need to be checked, especially if you had a cesarean section. So they will need to check the stitches to be sure that everything is in place. And even after 1 week, 6 weeks, you are still fine. The next thing is to call for your baby's immunization. After scheduling appointments with your family doctor, you still need to call for immunization. So in Canada, immunization is not done immediately like they do in Nigeria, my home country. They do immunization in Nigeria like almost immediately, and then they will schedule the remaining appointment. But here, your first immunization appointment for your baby is after 2 months. So they calculate when you give birth. So like my baby that was born on 24th, his next appointment was 2 months after. So anything after that 24th, 2 months after, is the first appointment of immunization. So he has 2 months immunization, 4 months immunization, 6 months immunization, and 1 year immunization. So you have to pick up your phone. In Canada, you will call 811. 811 attends to kids immunization. So you call 811 and tell them, I want to schedule an appointment for immunization for my child. Then they fill in all the details and give you a date. They immediately book you for the 2 months. They book you for 4 months and 6 months. So you have to call them and schedule all of these appointments and also take them down. Yeah, they will call you like maybe some days to the appointment because some people might have forgotten. It's a long time. Imagine scheduling you from May. I had my baby in May and they scheduled him for appointments in July. They scheduled him for appointments in November. Like, you could have forgotten, so they will still remind you like 2 days or 3 days too for your appointment. Next point is to schedule your baby's circumcision if he's a boy, or piercing if she is a girl. So in Canada, they don't circumcise in the hospital. In fact, they don't pay for it. You pay out of pocket to circumcise your child or pierce your baby's ears. It's not part of the healthcare package, because apparently they said in Canada they don't circumcise their kids. But if you want to do that for your child, you have to pay out of pocket, and the family doctor won't do that for you. They will either recommend a clinic, or you find a clinic yourself that maybe somebody recommends to you, where you would circumcise your child or pierce your baby's ears. So for me, my family doctor recommended, but the place he recommended for me was a lot expensive. I think they were charging, because you have to pay out of pocket. It's private hospitals that do this, private doctors. So they were charging around $500 when I got another person who recommended $280 for me. So we eventually did the circumcision at $280 for circumcision. So it's not the government that pays for that. You pay out of pocket, and you also have to look for the hospital. In fact, before you give birth, once you know you're having a boy, it's just best that you call the clinic after you've given birth and tell them, oh, I have a baby, I want to circumcise him. And the thing in Canada is, the earlier you do it, the cheaper it is. The later you do it, the more expensive it gets. Like if your baby is like 2 months, it will be more expensive than somebody whose baby is 2 weeks. So there's really a timeline to how much they will collect. Yeah, it's crazy though, but that's how they do. So schedule your baby's circumcision appointment, and if your baby is a girl, schedule your baby's piercing. So you want your baby's ears pierced, the hospital won't do that for you. You have to go to places where they pierce their baby's ears and tell them you want your baby's ears pierced. So for a girl, you can either wait until after the immunization, or you can do it before the immunization. So for circumcision, I had my baby's own done before the immunization. I knew that everything was going to be fine, but then I just wanted to do it faster because he had not started feeling pain. So I needed it to be done faster before he starts feeling pain. That's why I did it before the immunization. So you can also choose to do your piercing or circumcision before the immunization or after the immunization to save your baby distress. Mind you, if you're doing circumcision after the immunization is 2 months after, which means that your circumcision might be much more expensive than doing it weeks before, or doing it weeks after the baby was born, rather than wait 2 months after the baby is born. So the next point is do all your baby's documentation. Like, I know this whole thing is already overwhelming, but you just need to take it at a time. So your baby's documentation, I mean your baby's birth certificate. So until you get home, that's when you apply for your baby's birth certificate online. So you fill up all the information online and you apply for your baby's birth certificate. You would have to pay for your baby's birth certificate, and it will be sent to you like after 2 to 3 weeks. At most a month, your baby's birth certificate will be sent to you. So while you are doing this documentation, in the form you're filling, you're also clicking that they should do your baby's SIN. SIN is the social insurance number that you have, like your personal number. So your baby's SIN will also be sent to you. Your baby's health card will be sent to you. And at the same time, you already filled out your baby's child benefit. So you fill out all this information while you're filling out your baby's birth certificate, and all of these things will be sent to you. So if you've not filled out your information for your family income before, like you've not filed taxes and all of that, the CRA would send you some messages back to fill out all these details so that they will start paying your baby's child benefit. And all of this would start like after 8 to 11 weeks. But you get all of this information, like your baby's birth certificate, your baby's SIN, your baby's health card. You get all of this in your mailbox. But your baby's child benefit would not come until like after 8 to 11 weeks. So if you filled out your birth certificate, your baby's birth certificate, all this comes with it. So you don't need to start filling out any other document again. The next thing after filling all of this is that you should ask for help, ask for support. Childbearing is tough. You with your baby is tougher. How much more now tending to the baby at home? So if you don't have support, you don't already have like your mom or your mother-in-law, like for me, I didn't have all of that. You need to ask for help from church members, organizations. Really, Canada place value on people's lives, especially moms and kids. And I've gotten help from all of these organizations just because I had a baby. So ask for help from organizations. They even send people to your houses to give you food, to help you care for your baby, to help you cater to your baby while you sleep. So there are organizations that you could ask for help. I got help from several organizations. An example is Pregnancy Care Center. An example is made by MoMA. So all of these people, in fact, they give you stuff to help you take care of your baby. At the same time, still send people to your home to check up on you. I had help from Ruth House. There are some people that even call to check up on you, to check up on your mental well-being, to be sure that you are fine. So all these organizations are available. Churches, please ask for help, ask for support. It takes a village to raise a baby, especially in Nigeria where I come from. Like, grandma A is here, grandma B is here, great grandma is here. Everybody's just there to help you with the baby. But you're in Canada, you probably don't have help, or you have just one person tending to you. But like me, that it was just me and my husband. We didn't have any other help. So we had people from churches, we had people reach out to us to say, okay, can we help? Can we support? Allow them help you, allow them support you in any way they can, because it's not easy at all, especially in Canada. It's not easy. The next point is to take care of yourself and your baby. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. So just try your best to be sure that you're fine. You don't need to clean the house. The only thing you need to do is to make sure that you're fine. You don't need to start cooking and doing all of these things. I know it's not easy. Who would do the dishes? Who would do all of these things? Yes, you will do them. But then try to be sure that you are not taking too much on yourself. So what I do at the time when I had my baby and there was no help was I try to batch cook. When I want to cook, I cook like plenty dishes and make sure the fridge is stocked. So when I want to eat, I just bring them out and eat. At the time, I wasn't even having appetite. So it was less of food, less of anything. And let your partner help you. I understand that sometimes you want to do the superwoman, you want to be there for your child, but really, it takes a village. And you can't be the only one who is going to handle all of this care alone. So let people help, let people support you. At the same time, take care of yourself and take care of your mental health so you don't fall into depression. It's very easy to have postpartum depression. I've seen lots of people who just hate their babies because of the way they are feeling. It's something that comes very easily. So try to give yourself rest. Try to be sure that you're not doing more than you're supposed to. And when you do all of this, I'm sure that everything will be fine. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, I didn't mention naming ceremony. See, naming ceremony is not a big deal, especially in Canada. You already know what name you're going to give your baby. If you want to do an elaborate naming ceremony, fine, you can have that. If you want to do something low-key, you can also do that. I didn't mention it as part of this list because it can be very overwhelming and challenging. Like for us, we had a Zoom naming ceremony. My mom and mother-in-law from Nigeria, everybody joined from Nigeria. The pastor self was in Nigeria. We just sat down, myself and my husband and my baby, and we had a Zoom naming ceremony. The pastor all the way from Nigeria blessed our baby, and we all spoke to our family members, and that was it. We didn't put ourselves under unnecessary pressure, because you can put yourself under unnecessary pressure by doing an elaborate naming ceremony. So you don't need to do something. You already know what you want to name your baby, in fact, from the hospital. So why not give your baby the name, pray, and do all of the little things that you can do. Also, we have pastors here. You can also call your pastor here and they pray for the baby. Nothing elaborate, nothing to stress you, because it's not easy. Take it easy on yourself. So the last thing I will say, and the bonus point, in fact, this one is like the most important thing. The most important point is that make sure you join a support group. What I mean by support group is, it might be groups that you've joined pre-pregnancy, or just a group where you can share your thoughts, your burdens. In fact, make sure you just join a support group. So that support group will help you to learn. A group where you have mothers who interact on a daily, like you will learn, you'll be able to get support from that group. So if you are in that kind of group, somebody can just send a message asking or sharing their experience about something that you might not need now, but you'll need it in the future. So that's why I'm saying join a support group. Like me, I joined groups even before I got pregnant, to just hear from people who had gone through the things that I was about to go through. So even you would lend your ears to somebody that would obviously need anything. So you need support, and some other moms too need support. In that group, all of you can hold hands together and support each other. So it's very, very good for you to be in a group, a support group that will help your mental health, and at the same time help you with lots of experiences that you might not need now, but you will need it in the nearest future, because nobody can do motherhood alone. Motherhood is as challenging as it can be, and you need hands, you need village of people to help you with motherhood, because it's really not something you should do alone. So those are the points I have for anybody who thinks, oh, I just had a baby, what next for me? I've aligned the point for you. Jot them down somewhere, take it into consideration. It will really help you, especially if you are in Canada. So if you've watched until this point and you've still not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, like, and if you know somebody who would be needing this, someone who just gave birth or who would be giving birth soon, especially in Canada, share this video with them. If you've learned something and you want that person to also learn from me. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.
Don't wanna take it slow, just wanna let you know.